Halo 3 ODST is the game that stands out the most out of the Halo saga, and it is one of the most widely remembered games in the entire series. And if you ask me, I think it's pretty easy to tell why. First of all, in this game we play as an ODST, which means we're just a soldier and not a regular Spartan. Energy shields do not accompany us on this hellish adventure through New Mombasa. That, along with many other gameplay changes like the HUD, the fact that we cannot dual wield, the nighttime vision from our helmets, and a few other things, really helps cement this idea that we are indeed an ODST soldier. Most Halo fans cite this idea of vulnerability when talking about Halo 3 ODST, how we need to use health packs again and how in general makes the game harder. And while the game is different and maybe a bit harder than the rest of the games in the series, I personally don't think it's necessarily true. There's a brief period of time before we actually start losing our health. Not to mention that health packs are commonly available throughout the game, and while playing as a rookie we can avoid combat to make things a bit easier for us, especially if we're running low on ammo. However, that does not stop you from going full Master Chief on the Covenant, and it's not a particularly hard or impossible task, especially for experienced Halo players. I think this idea of vulnerability just goes along well with the themes of the game, and I think the game does nail this feeling of make you feel vulnerable. It's almost psychological too, but the more you play it, I think you realize it's not 100% true either. One of the other things that Halo 3 ODST nails is the map. New Mombasa is absolutely beautiful. It's incredible to traverse. You can really get a feeling of despair and sadness, and it was a great choice to set the rookie levels at night. The rain is an added bonus because it helps convey this feeling of being lost and separated from your team. Along with the music and sound design, it really helps you feel anxious and even a bit sad that you're lost in this city. Regularly, the music on other Halo titles helps emphasize this action-packed story, the stakes and the epicness of it all. And I think in this game, because it is a bit more tame and generally calmer, players pay more attention to the music. The jazz noir helps convey this feeling that the rookie is kind of a detective, figuring out the case of what happened to his team. The levels where you don't play as a rookie act as flashbacks, and we get to see what happened after they landed and how they grouped together. However, if it is the first time you're playing this game, there's this lingering feeling that you don't really know what happened to them, and because those missions happened hours and hours ago, who knows, they just may be dead. Because a rookie was unconscious for so long, it feels like you're playing catch up and just hoping for the best while trying to piece together the story of the city as well. The environmental storytelling of this game is incredible, and I like the idea of the audio logs and how you can piece together the story of Sadie and the superintendent, and how finding them all has an impact on the story once you meet there. It's also really nice how the audio logs connect with the corrupt cop you find in the Hive level, and it's also an incredibly nice detail that very early on you notice that someone's watching you through the cameras, and they're also helping you out with visual road signs and sounds throughout the city to guide you. It mimics a noir detective story because someone is both observing and helping the main character. The rookie is a great main character too because we can project and feel like we're actually there. There's good variety and level design throughout most of the levels, and the gameplay is just so good. It was built using the Halo 3 engine but with a few tweaks to the weapons, and of course the incredible map and story. I think it really helps separate Halo 3 ODST from the rest of the saga. One of my favorite things about Halo Reach is that it chooses to focus on noble team rather than on the Covenant conflict. It is there and it is important, but it focuses more on the human side of the Spartans and the inevitable downfall of Reach. Halo 3 ODST takes place alongside Halo 2. We were supposed to board a Covenant ship, and High Charity made a slip space jump out of New Mombasa, right after Master Chief destroyed the Scarab, which essentially just separated the team of ODSTs, and makes the rest of the game just finding your team and getting out of the city. And it takes a similar approach to Halo Reach, where the conflict is there, but it lets you know much sooner that you already lost this particular battle. The city is in the process of being destroyed and abandoned, and it feels like there is nothing left to do but to regroup and get out. Of course, without taking into consideration the fact that Bear had her own specific mission that was not telling the rest of the team, and that was to retrieve the superintendent, which at the end of the day ended up helping the Human Covenant War. but you only find out about this information close to the ending of the game. So for the most part, it's kind of a self-contained, more human-focused story. ODST is also the first game to show a proper relationship on the screen, and while I personally don't really like or don't really care about the relationship between Buck and Dare, it's nice that the game focuses on its characters and that's it. I also really like that every single member has something distinctive about them. Their armors are customized and they have distinctive features like different colors, armor details like the skull on Dutch's helmet, mismatched armor pieces, different backpacks or missing backpacks altogether, and even minor details like the way knives are located in their armor. Even the way Dare's helmet is different. She is wearing a recon helmet rather than an ODST helmet, and the color of her armor is just slightly bluish compared to the rest of the team, and it just helps cement this idea that she's a higher rank than you are, she's from Oni, and it fits thematically because her mission was different. Even the rookie, despite him not talking at all, he's very determined and prepared. If you take a look at his character in game, he has all of his gear. He also seems very calm and collected. At the beginning of the game he is seen sleeping, and later on when the team is reunited, he is seen sleeping again. I remember when I was a kid, I liked most of the characters, I did not have a problem with them, but now as an adult, I actually just like Buck and the rookie. Dutch is the most stereotypical soldier. I don't think Mickey has a particular personality rather than running his mouth and always having something to say. Romeo is the typical sarcastic piece of work that's always cynical and rude. There is the stereotypical by the books captain. And you know what, it's okay that I dislike them, it's just a matter of taste. Remember that this was also the first Halo game to add Firefight, which is a game mode that I really enjoy, and it was a simple but nice addition to the Halo series. And with all of its elements combined, I think the game has an incredible aesthetic and so much character. And it is really hard not to like this. Despite the game being so short, I think it is just an incredible experience that everyone should play at least once. I recently replayed it to relive some memories, and I was surprised to find out that of course it wasn't like this perfect holy grail game that I thought it was, but it definitely is one of the most unique experiences in the Halo saga.